everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're checking out Pagebound. So I've checked out a few different book tracker things this year. Obviously there's always Goodreads, and I also have been using Storygraph for the past couple years. Well, recently Goodreads changed their icon in the App Store, their logo on the website, and not much else. They technically changed their shelving system, but it's the exact same shelving system they have always had. The only real thing now is the shelves are exclusive shelves, and the things that you used to have as shelves are now tags. They just changed the wording. So because of that, and people being a little bit disappointed that they didn't really beef up anything else, people have been asking, what sort of book trackers are you using right now? And obviously people use Goodreads and Storygraph. Some people mentioned Fable, which I wanted to try this year, but at the end of last year they had a really big AI snafu that was being racist and sexist and things, and I'm just I don't know if they've redeemed themselves at this point. Let me know if you use Fable, if they've gotten rid of all their AI and have been trying to make themselves better. But somebody else mentioned Pagebound, and I had never really heard of this, so I looked it up. They only have a website right now, not an app, and I've checked out some other book trackers earlier this year as well that I know if they only have a website and not an app, I'm less likely to use them, but I love the look of Pagebound from just the main screen that I've looked at, because I've not signed up or anything, and I want to check it out today because why not? This seems to be the year of checking out all of the book trackers. So without further ado, let's get into Pagebound. So the first page here says, track your books and talk about them. Pagebound is a social reading site. Think if Goodreads and Reddit had a baby. I'm curious about this aspect because I know Goodreads is the OG book tracker. In my opinion, I have had it since 2012. And part of the big selling point for Goodreads over some of the other apps that I've looked at or trackers that I've looked at is that you have friends and it is a little bit more social. Storygraph, I feel in my opinion, is more just you and your books. You don't really have that socialization aspect as much. So I'm very curious about this. Every book has a forum. No more bouncing between Goodreads and Reddit/Discord. Discuss and keep track of your books in one place. Quests gamify reading. Join themed reading challenges and earn badges as you read. Find like-minded readers on the same quests as you. I like this aspect. There was a different tracker I looked at earlier this year called Storylace that is a very much a quest gamifying experience, and I love the idea of that, but again, because it's only on a website, I do find myself personally forgetting that it's there. So we'll see. I want to know what kind of quests they have here. Read with others, but read what you want. When you're reading a book, sort forum posts by percentage read to see what others thought and reacted to. This is something that I'm very curious about, so it sounds like you could almost sort of do buddy reads or read with people, but if you are reading faster or slower than other people, you're not going to get spoiled because you can actually look it up by, oh, I'm only 20% in, I want to see what people have to say, but you're not going to get accidentally spoiled for something that happens later in the book. Tools for modern book tracking. Rate and review the way you always wanted with half stars, emojis, and sub ratings. Mark a book as paused or DNF. This is something that people have been asking Goodreads for forever, and it's not there yet, so this is always a plus. And then who is behind Pagebound? This is going to be an indie book tracker website. It's built by Jennifer Dobak and Lucy Zhao. You can find more about them on their About page. And so this is about why they built Pagebound. We're gonna go and take a look at all the different stuff here as well. But here's the team. So we have Jennifer and Lucy. I love this. I love that it is women-led and an indie sort of thing. So yeah, sounds very, very good. Okay, so the only other thing that we have to do is sign up. They obviously have the sign up here as sign up with Google. From what it looks like here, that looks like that's the only way to sign up, which I'm fine with. I'm gonna do that. Okay, and so now we have Welcome to Pagebound. The vibe here is playful and judgment-free. While many opt for anonymity, create a profile that's true to your reader's self. You can select an avatar. Okay, so they have like cute little avatars. And just from first looks on here, does not look AI, which is good because I do not like websites that have like AI stuff, especially in the book space or anything that has like artistic creativity. So the one calling my name right now, I think, is the book dragon. We will do that. I'm gonna put my username as my name right now, so in case any of you guys want to check this out, you can find me. It does say you can change it later though if you would like. Okay, what's your taste in 5 books? Oh my goodness, they're doing the hard questions from the beginning, because I'm sure you guys all know my taste in books can be everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna do one of my favorite books. Of last year, Voyage of the Damned. My favorite book so far this year. The Prospects by K.T. Hoffman. Oh goodness. It says you have to add at least 3 for now, and I'm just feeling like I'm gonna have so many things that I would want to put in here, and I don't know how to do it. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll do like a classic favorite, because I do absolutely love The Lord of the Rings. I don't know if it really matters which one, except for the fact that I think I would like the complete trilogy to be represented if at all possible. Let's do that one. I don't like the cover. Let's try again. Okay, they had, let's do this one. That should be the whole thing. I like that cover better. Yes, I am a cover girly, like, I'm now trying to think of like books that I have read over and over and over again, because if I love a book, I'm gonna reread it, and I've read and reread The Host many, many times. I still am mad that we've never gotten a sequel, because like it was supposed to eventually, I think, be a trilogy. So there's 4. Oh, I have one more. This is really hard, guys. This is really hard. My love for books is all over the place, and I have like way too many. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a manga. One that is technically out of print, but like I absolutely love in general, and I feel like is a little bit more on the horror, mystery, thriller side, paranormal, because I don't think I really have that represented as much, but I do want to show the manga stuff as well. That was way too hard. Okay, we also have an About Me that we can do. We'll do that for now. Okay, find your people. Okay, the best way to experience Pagebound is by finding readers like you. So we have Devin, Fantasy, Kerrigan, Seema, Kathy. Okay, I know Kathy. I will follow, and like when I say I know Kathy, I know from lots of socials and things like that. I'm pretty sure I follow on like pretty much anywhere I found them. So let's follow. You can view more, and they do have like different 5s. Like that's what their 5s are. And speaking of, I do like multiple of things that are on here, which is good. Whereas like some other ones, like I'm not too sure about some of these other tops. Again, I have this now. I will leave a link down below in case you guys do want to then find me on here. I don't know what all these different little badges are. Let's continue. Import your existing library. Okay, from Goodreads or Storygraph. Okay, okay, the Storygraph update is beta. I have what, like 13 years worth of books on Goodreads. I didn't even import my Goodreads over to Storygraph. Goodreads is where I keep a lot of like this is my stuff I want to read, because I have like thousands of books on there. Things that I've read, things that I want to read, things that I'm just like interested in. My Goodreads is too big. My Storygraph I started at the very, very beginning of 2024. And so I've only had it for like these 2 years. And I use that for my currently reading stuff and my updating on percentages and pages read, because I love the graphs that it has. So this, we could try my Storygraph. Like, I'd be okay importing a couple years worth of data into here. Okay, I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Okay, my Storygraph export was very quick. I got the email very quick. So let's see how long it takes to actually upload, I guess. Okay, I gotta download this file. And then I have to come back and choose a file to upload and submit. Okay, as soon as I hit submit, it took me here. So I don't know if that means it worked or not, but like I said, my Storygraph, it's in beta on this website. So again, it is only going to export things that it has on Pagebound already. We'll have to see if I need to update anything, I guess. But it was very quick to get from Storygraph, and then I'm assuming very quick to upload. We'll see. So, welcome to Pagebound. Discover what makes our community special. Book forums. Each book has an evergreen conversation, quests, reading challenges that earn you badges, and reading updates. All the benefits of a book club while staying in control of your TBR. So, show me my feed. Okay, so this is showing, I think, what I'm currently reading. I'm technically reading some other stuff as well, but I don't remember what is updated as like my current stuff on Storygraph, because I have some other ones, or if maybe Pagebound just shows you your most recent. I'm in the middle of a few different things, but you can post in the forum for the book. You can join a quest, join the discussion, or set a yearly goal. I mean, we can do that as well. Let's take a look at that page. Okay, my goal for this year, I'm gonna say 100 right now. Earlier this year, my goal was 100. But I also had a goal that for like every book that I bought, I was gonna try and read 2 books for that. That did not happen. So let me just say 100 for right now. Okay, it imported 65. And some of the covers are not like the exact covers that I had. I mean, most of this is looking correct. None of this is in order though. Like, I don't like that it's not in timeline order. You know what I mean? Like, I do not like that we go from January to June, to January to June, to April, to April, to June, to May, to April, to May, to April, to May, April, May, January, June. Like, why? Do not like, do not like. Okay, but here's that. And I don't think any of these, like, I read this as Melissa. I don't think these are in alphabetical order either. They're just in a very, very random order. Okay, but let's, okay, it has since updated. We went back. It also has a couple of the other things that I'm technically currently reading as well. We have the couple people that I followed on here, what they've been doing, commenting on. Yeah, I'll have to see. Okay, they have the spoilers. This is interesting. Thoughts from 2% on a book that I technically read, I think last year, which is probably why it's showing up in the late bloomer forum. But they have this like spot where it's blurred out and then you can look at it. I love this. I am way less than 10 pages in and I've already decided I hate Lainey. I didn't like that book as much as I liked some of the other Maisie Eddings, but yeah, okay, so then a lot of other stuff, commented on a post. This is a book that I want to read, but I have not read, so, I mean, it's another one that I want to read. Okay, so this is what, like, the feed looks like for now. We can, I don't really want to join a discussion right now, but we can join a quest. Let's take a look at their quests. So you can discover, okay, this is in their Discover tab, books, people, quests, and lists. Here are the main quests. They have Justice for All, nonfiction focused on social identity, diversity, equity, inclusivity, class, and belonging. Asian-inspired fantasy. I wonder if these are things that people have created themselves. Whispers in the Walls, from classic ghostly mansions to modern reimagining of spooky house horror. Interesting. Epic sci-fi and fantasy series. And then they have side quests. Okay, so those are main quests. Genre hubs and longer journeys with 30 plus books. And then side quests are short and sweet journeys with 10 to 15 books. Okay, I like that as well. Horrors from beyond. Horror from authors outside English-speaking countries. Okay. Love, but also food. If there is food, do you really need the romance? Interesting. Regardless, the books will give you both. And then Sci-Fi Charcuterie, a variety pack sampler to get you started on your own sci-fi adventure. A little bit of everything. And then Tiny but Mighty Nonfiction. I'm curious about Sci-Fi Charcuterie. So you have a champion where you read 5 of them, and then completionist where you read 100% of what's in here. And then they have specific quest books. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I like the idea. I've read a couple of these. Like, I've read Brave New World. I've read The Time Machine. I read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Ready Player One. Interesting. Okay. I want to see maybe some of these other bigger quests. You can, like, search for some as well. The epic sci-fi and fantasy series that they had. 5 red is bronze, 10 red is silver, 15 red is gold. And again, they have specific books. Yeah, here we go. I've read that one. I own this one. Read that one. Own this one. Read that one. Read this one. And this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, so they have a pretty good mix of like some, I feel like they're more older series, but okay. Oh, they have a Discworld one. LGBTQ sci-fi and fantasy. I mean, that could be good. Again, with the bronze, silver, and gold. Some of our quest books. I've read this one, and this one. DNF'd that one. I want to read this. I've read this one. And this one. I own this one. I've read this one. And that one. I DNF'd this one as well. I've read that one. I want to read that. I own this. And this. And I've read this one. I mean, okay, so again, a pretty good amount. I do feel like a lot of them are a little bit more mainstream. Like, I prefer sometimes the quests that are like more prompts and you can fill it with your own book versus here are the books you have to read for that. But again, I'm wondering if these are user created. I like the idea of these. I really do. Let's go back to Discover. They have a Discover Books area. And so it looks like it starts with the most TBR'd this week. So the things that the people put on their TBR the most, which has some very popular titles like The Poppy War and Babel and Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil and Catabasis, all of R.F. Kuang, pretty much. The Spell Shop, Don't Let the Forest In, Pride of the Orange Tree, Sunrise on the Reaping, Encyclopedia of Fairies. What is this one? Blood Over Bright Haven. Okay, M.L. Wong. I tried a different M.L. Wong. I was okay with it. I do feel like I remember people talking about that. So, like, I like that idea that they have things that have been on the most TBRs this week. So something recent, it sounds like. Then they have the ones that are the most currently reading. So we have some of the Rebecca Yarros, which makes sense. Sunrise on the Reaping again. A little bit more of that. Again, makes sense. Popular this week. Okay, so maybe not necessarily just added to TBRs. So that's a good way to find popular books. Obviously, if you're looking for something specific, I'm assuming you would just search here. And then we have people. Oh, I love the Feeling Adventurous Browse by Emoji. That'd be very intriguing. Okay, they have readers that are new to the community. Adding some stuff in there. Oh, Foxhole Court. Nice. Top contributors. And again, they have percentages and things. I don't know what all the badges and things mean yet. But I like that you can look things up that way as well. I would prefer to find people that I already sort of know, that I talk to on different things. We talked about the quests, and then they also have lists. So, okay, Wainwright Prize Shortlist, Sapphic Books, Quintessential Korean Literature. Interesting. Okay, I do feel like this has to be like user created. I'm again very curious about emojis. Oh, they said popular emojis are heart, chilies, and fire. I wonder why. Can we do the upside down face? Like, would it just bring up, okay, The Crown, Magnolia Parks. We don't talk about that author. And by that I mean I will never read the books. Ruby Dixon. Interesting. I don't know. Can you do multiple emojis at once, or they only want like one? Looks like maybe they just want like one. Yeah, they only let you pull up like one thing. Okay, well, let's try like witch. It's thinking. Okay, a dark fantasy villain romance, maybe. Bride of Brittle Hearts, never heard of that. Shadow of Night, okay, Deborah Harkness, that has witches. Terry Pratchett, Equal Rights, very nice. This one, A Kingdom of Shadow and Ash, never heard of that. I can't fully tell because of how small the covers are. Looks like it could be AI. I do not like that, but yeah, The Bewitching, okay. Cackle, Till Death Do Us Barred. Okay, things that I've heard of that make sense. This also has a witch on there. Okay, it's interesting. I do think trying to find maybe like a book that way could be harder to do. Very interesting. Okay, and then the discussion area. A space for convos and reading about the Pagebound community. So they have a club for all that, but then they have different things. Like, I guess here's a challenge, summer read along, which is only until the end of the month, but people have joined with different books potentially. Participation in the read along. I'm assuming these are the books that they're doing, which is probably why this is like one of the ones that's been added to the TBR the most. And then for all of the books, all of my books that I have, and again, some of these are ones that I've read, and then some are on my TBR for Storygraph, which are like the ones that I have on my 25 books to read in 2025. So not all of those are ones that I've read so far. Okay, and so then we have the library system. This one's going to be obviously my books. And the first thing we have is what I'm currently reading. And these are the books that it says I'm currently reading. I feel like one of them is missing, and I don't know if that's just because it wasn't on here. It should be on my Storygraph, and I guess I can very easily check on the app, because Storygraph has an app. No, I'm definitely also technically reading Roll for Romance by Lenora Woods. And I don't know why that didn't come through. I don't also know if there's an easy way to update, if you want to like update how many pages you read per day or anything like that. That's what I use Storygraph for, obviously. It'll track all of that. Or if you just tell it when you finish. Like if I go into this, it says I'm reading, and then I can either say finished, DNF'd, paused. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can update as you read, which is fine. Okay, TBR, to be read. These are the books that I should have on here as my, like, 25 books to read in 2025. It says I still have 20 on there. Right, because this one's not a TBR. This one I finished. Save. Okay, I can add read dates. So let me see. When did I read that? Oh, okay, to edit, add new dates and delete the old. Interesting, okay. February 16th of this year. And then I finished April 13th. Yeah, this one took me a while. Save. But then, no. There. Delete the old one and save. Now it should update as that. Okay, go back to the library. Back to the TBR, which should be 19. Do I have any other ones that I'm like, that's wrong? So far, no, I guess that looks right. Okay, things that I have finished. 216, including the things from last year as well. I guess that makes sense. Okay, now that I'm in the finished section, it does look like these are in order. Probably some of the things that came from Storygraph. Okay. Again, I'm not going to know for sure if I'm missing anything unless I go back and double check that as well. But it does look like I have everything for that there right now, which is fine. Did not finish. I should have some of these as well, as long as they transferred over. Looks like we probably did. Some of these things don't have red dates for some reason, and then other things do. So that's why they are in two different colors, it looks like. Some for no red dates, some for red dates. I will go back and look at that later. And then we have paused. I don't have anything paused. I think Storygraph technically has a paused area as well, but I don't know how that works transferring over because I don't really use that. And then we have a plan. Okay, so you can plan your TBR. It starts in August, probably because we were in August. So like if I really wanted to go in here and plan the books that I wanted to read and add them to my TBR, I could. That actually, I sort of like that. I use a different app for this aspect. And I think I've talked about it a little bit, maybe when I did my, like what I was using at the beginning of the year, but Bookly. I use that to track my current TBRs because I can add everything that I want to read on there, and then when I'm ready for a book, I just pull it up and it tracks how long I read and everything like that as well. But I do like the fact that it has this in here and you can just add the books that you want to read. And then they have a yearly plan as well. That might be a little bit too much for me. I don't really plan that far ahead. I am a mix of a TBR reader and a mood reader, but I like the idea of it. So ultimately, I think that's about everything we have here. Oh, I do have a little number 1 there. Again, it doesn't tell me what those are. I wish I could hover over it and it would actually say, is it a stat? We have stats. Yes, it's an achievement. View all, level 1. Okay, so you can earn achievements through community, quests, and special events. I'm assuming that's what those things are. It shows your reading goals. So this is like, I guess, like if people look you up specifically, it'll show your taste, what you're currently reading, your little information. Okay, like I said, I like this. I will leave my stuff linked down below. I will be curious to see about, especially like the community aspect of this, because right now I'm not really like actively reading anything where I would like need to talk to people about, but also it said you can specifically mention or look up things by percentage read, but because it's not updating in our like what we're currently reading by percentage, I guess you would have to do that yourself, put in what percentage you're at maybe to do the discussions and things. But I like the idea of it. So that's where we're at for right now. Let me know if this is something that you would check out. Let me know if I should actually go back and like maybe double check Fable. Like I said, I was planning on actually trying it this year, sort of like how I did last year with Storygraph, and I absolutely love Storygraph and I want it to continue. Except for at the end of last year, they had that AI snafu thing and it was like a bad one. But I haven't heard people talk about the AI aspect of it as much. Like, did they just get rid of it completely? Maybe. I also know other people have been using it for their book clubs, even though they did have that AI thing, big creators, so I'm curious about it. But I like the idea of this. I like the social idea of this. We'll see how this works, especially because we don't have an app right now. especially with how much this is social. I do my Discord and Reddit on apps, so I would prefer to have it that way. So hopefully that'll be something that they want to update in the future. But otherwise, I like this sort of like, what, 80s, 90s look of all the like neon and colors that they have. I do think it's very aesthetically pleasing, and so I definitely want to try this out. I will leave my profile link down below for you in case you would also like to try it out, because I would like people to talk to. And I think that's going to be it for me today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye!